Hello, everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching Gilmore Girls, Season 1, Episode 12, Double Date. Your shirt is reflecting on the outside of the camera.
Is it really?
And I can see it.
Are you going to be all right?
I'll be fine.
Okay.
I noticed it and I was like, It's like I can see you in the camera.
Well, I was inspired by the neon pink raglan she was wearing in the beginning.
Well, that's good.
So.
We haven't done fashion in a couple of episodes.
Yeah. No, that was like, I really want it.
Yeah.
Like really bad. So this is the closest thing I have.
I have a couple raglan shirts, but one of them has Thor on them, on it, and one of them it's a Riverdale shirt, so it says it's like RHS, I think, on the front, and then it says HBIC on the back.
Oh,
it's like
that.
Cheryl's River Vixen shirt.
Love that. I have 0 raglans.
Really? You seem like you should.
I've had them previously. I just don't currently own any right now.
Should get some.
Yeah.
All right. So this episode basically starts out with actually kind of just like a little choreographed like morning routine of Lorelai and Rory, which I always thought was cute. Where they're just sort of like each finishing like each other's tasks like halfway through. And then we get into the actual meat of it. Suki and Jackson are being super awkward with each other, and it's because they just like agreed to go to dinner but then didn't make a plan.
Yeah.
So they like don't really know what's going on. And so Lorelai helps, and they end up making a date, but the only problem is Jackson's cousin Rune is in town, and instead of like saying, okay, well, we'll go when he's gone, Suki says, well, what if Lorelai went and it was a double date? And then, okay, we'll get there, and then on the other side of it, Lane is talking to Rory, and she wants to go out with this guy who's friends with Dean named Todd, and so she wants Rory and Dean to help facilitate that and set it up. Todd.
Yeah.
All right, so basically we've got 2 double dates for the night, and that's where we go. So, Rune.
You mean Whistler?
Yeah, so the actor's name is Max Perlich, and he also plays Whistler in the season 2 finale of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I always thought, like, because I love Doyle on Angel, but I always was bummed that he never came back, that Whistler never came back.
Yeah, I always thought it was odd that he never did.
So they end up going on this date, but when they first arrive to pick up the girls at Lorelai's house, he is immediately, she's too tall.
I really thought when he said that, I thought he was going to go, and I'm so short, she's not going to like me, blah, blah, blah. But
no.
he
doesn't like her.
She was the problem.
Yeah, and her ears are too big, which he can't even see them because her hair is covering them. And it just keeps going. When he made that crack when they were at dinner, and she's like, let's go powder our noses, and he says, you'll need a lot of powder.
Yeah.
It's just like, first of all, she has a very dainty nose.
Yeah.
It's like a very regular, normal nose.
Well, and when he asked what her shoe size was, and she was like 9, and he was like, oh, jeez. And it's like, I wear a size 8.
I wear a size 9.
Weird. Yeah. Very strange. We get more of him.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. And he's never like better.
Ugh.
But he's funny.
Okay.
And they're like not trying to date the 2 of them. So it's like it's not like that.
Who, Lorelai and Rune? Well,
course.
I would hope not.
No,
but he's not really a character that I would like to experience again. He was terrible.
It's okay. It's okay, I promise. And in only 2 more episodes. And then eventually we get there's another character who I think like sort of like takes over for him, and he's in way more of it. And I find him annoying as well. Well, his name's TJ. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so on the other side of things, also, Suki cannot, like, really get into the date. She's, like, super nervous, and so she's, like, essentially on a date with Lorelai.
Well, I feel like that's what happens if you, like, are doing a double date for your first date. You get so nervous that you lean on your friend.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, just go by yourself.
Exactly.
Jump off the
Just
cliff.
do it. So the whole time, Rune also keeps complaining about, like, they go to a really super fancy French restaurant first, which is never, that's never what you want to do. There's, like, so many TV shows that tell you that's not what you're supposed to do. That happens in Gossip Girl. That it happens here. It happens in like almost everything because it's also almost always like a poor guy trying to take a rich girl out for dinner and like taking her to a fancy place and she's always the one who's like, I just want to go get a burger at the diner.
Why am I always I'm the one that's like, let's go somewhere fancy. Yeah. And then my date's like, yeah. And then I'm like, are you not having fun? And they're like, I would literally rather be anywhere else. And I'm like, oh, okay. But the swan butter.
The swan butter was cool, although it was very clearly too cold.
Yeah.
Because he just cracked the necks right off the swan butter there.
The swan butter did nothing to you, you dick.
Yeah, he's just not having a good time.
I'm not having a good time watching him.
He's also dressed like a 1950s hobo. Like,
yeah, I wanted to be like, are you going to take your coat and your hat off and fucking stay for a while? Trash.
He wore it the whole time.
Throw the whole man away.
So basically they end up deciding to just go to Luke's. And then that's where Rune has had enough. And he immediately they walk in and he goes, ew. And I was like, first of all, Luke's seems like the best diner you could ever hope for. I
would want to be like, where do you go?
Yeah.
Tell me about the places that you go because I want to understand your level of acceptance.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you it's not anywhere near as good as this.
Because that's the thing too. Because in my opinion, I feel like it has to be the way he said ew about Luke's makes me think it has to be somewhere in between Luke's and the French restaurant. But like, what is just like Applebee's?
Probably. Like... Probably. You know what? Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
I bet you.
That seems tacky enough.
Mm-hmm.
That seems tacky enough for him.
And he seems like the type that...
To think that Cheesecake Factory is a fancy dinner.
Like the height of luxury.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
I went on a date to Olive Garden in high school once.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever went on a date to Olive Garden. I've not been to Olive Garden very many times.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you're not there for like authentic Italian food, it's great.
Yeah. No, when I'm going for those soup salad and breadsticks.
Yeah. I also went on a date. I went on actually a handful of dates to Applebee's in college with my college boyfriend.
I think I've been on a date to Applebee's. Yeah. I don't remember who I was on the date with. But, that's part of the Swiss cheese brain, so I don't remember. It was some Charles County boy.
I went on a date to a place called Kickin' Chicken.
Ooh!
Which is super good.
Ooh, yeah, sounds good.
It's in Charleston.
Yum.
It's a chicken place, obviously.
I would hope so. That would be hysterical if it was that, but it was all burgers.
It's a burger place. It's really good. Yeah, he basically is like, I want to go bowling. And Jackson actually, like, stood up to him, a lot in the episode, which was like, be nice. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm sorry. You showed up unannounced to my house.
No, yeah.
And then you have the unmitigated gall to boss me around?
Yeah.
I want to go bowling. Get out of here.
Yeah, and then so Jackson was like, then go bowling, Rune.
Hey, Lorelai, there's an inn you work at, right? Yeah. Does he have anywhere to stay? Because he can't stay at my house.
He can't afford the inn.
That's his problem. Have a better attitude.
No, for sure. Disgusting. He's a horrible house guest. So anyway, they basically just like make Rune leave, and so they end up having their date. And Luke almost asks Lorelai out on a date, but Mrs. Kim interrupts because she didn't know.
Furious?
Yeah. Oh no, it's not even close to done.
I'm furious.
Spoiler alert, she has to get back with Max first.
Oh, she does?
For a little.
Okay.
Not very long, but for a little.
No, because now it's tainted. They took too much time apart.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's not why.
Okay. Yeah. Am I going to be mad why they don't continue?
I don't think you'll be mad.
Okay.
I'm not mad at why they don't stay together, but I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's fine. We'll get there. I think it's fine.
Okay.
So basically, Rory and Dean arranged this date with Todd, and so they're standing in line. They're gonna go see a movie, and they're standing in line for this movie, and Rory and Dean can like overhear their conversation, and
they can overhear Lane.
They can overhear Lane because Todd
doesn't talk.
Is really nothing. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's terrible.
She's like talking about music. She's trying to get him involved in a conversation. Like, what kind of music do you like?
These were all like boy bands.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters and everything. I mean, she talks about Nico Case, but
I think that one, because she started with Beck,
yeah.
And then she went to Foo Fighters, and then she was like, she probably threw out the Nico Case of it all because she's like, okay, maybe those were too mainstream. let me throw out something a little bit more underground. Oh, and speaking of underground, she talked about
the Velvet
Underground.
And then she says, what about Fugazi? Because he's wearing a shirt. And he's like, oh, I stole this from my sister. So it was like, it also wasn't the type of thing where it's like, name 5 songs from the band on your shirt. But it also was like, you are wearing that shirt. That the implication is that like you at least know one.
Right.
Like,
I was wearing my Jefferson Airplane shirt earlier.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting for the day for someone to be like, ooh,
name 5 songs.
Yeah. But it's also really kind of like abstract print. So most of the time everyone's like, oh, cool shirt. But they have no idea
what it is. Yeah. So it's like a pretty bad date. And then when they're in the movie, she asks, well, you must like movies. What's your favorite? Oh, because he also doesn't like books or magazines.
He's like, whatever.
And then it's like, what's your favorite class at school? And he says gym. And that's when...
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
She said, what are you majoring in?
Oh,
I'm like, you guys are in high school.
I don't know.
Okay, weird.
It's like, that happens every now and then on shows like this. And I'm just like...
Did you forget how high school works?
I don't know. I feel like there are some high schools where you can like have a concentration in something.
Yeah, but I feel like those are like STEM or art schools.
Yeah, and the Stars Hollow Public School is not that.
Very not that.
Yeah. So I don't really know.
Okay.
But basically he's like, Jim. And so that's when it cuts back to Rory and Dean. And she's like, Jim, are you kidding me? And he goes, we work on our bikes together. He has the good tools. So it's like they're not even really friends.
No, they don't talk.
Yeah. And Lane is also like already regretting it at that point. So then they're in the movie and she says, you must like movies. What's your favorite movie? And he says, Beethoven. Right?
Beethoven is great.
Yeah, but like, that's your favorite movie as a 16-year-old?
No, goodbye. See you later.
Definitely not.
Who are you? I don't know you.
You don't even have the like, you don't even have the dickish part of you to be like, Fight Club.
Yeah, right?
Like,
or like Tao with like Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko, yeah. Donnie Darko would have been perfect. Actually, I don't know when Donnie Darko came out. 2001, so it would have like maybe just come out. Yeah. Regardless, it's not going well. So when the movie is over and they're leaving, Lane is like, I'm gonna just go home. This has been super great, but I'm gonna go. It's like, it's time. And Todd actually seems kind of into it. He's like, well, maybe we should go get some ice cream, blah, blah, blah. And that's when Mrs. Kim and Lorelai come parading up. Mrs. Kim, she's too harsh. She's way too harsh. I can't even promise you that there's like a real softening of their relationship.
Oh, I'm not expecting there to be.
Yeah. They also, both of them, her and Lorelai, keep saying that the girls lied. And like, they didn't actually.
Lane did, Rory didn't.
Well, Lane said they might go out for a movie or dinner.
Oh.
The only thing no one did is say there was going to be a second boy there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, we're going to be going out with 0 boys. It was like, we might go to the movies.
Yeah.
And the Dean part was sanctioned by Lorelai. So, like, Mrs. Kim is, it's just too...
I agree with you.
It's way too much.
Yeah, well, and when she said that she called the video store and she called all these other places and nobody answered and whatever, and it's like, well, that's on you for being an insane person and calling everywhere.
Well, no, she was just calling Lorelai's house. And then she was like, well, I thought they maybe went to the video store, so I waited and I called back and still nobody answered. But I waited and I called back and still nobody answered.
This is like my youth.
Yeah.
I got in trouble all the time for never calling if I went over someone's house. Like, I don't know. I don't remember to call you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no. I got in trouble for dumb stuff. And I got grounded pretty hard, but I also wasn't, like, doing other things outside the house anyway. So it was like, they were like, you're grounded. And I'm like,
oh, no.
I don't do anything anyway. Yeah. Like, you can go to school and swim practice. And I would be like, that's all I do anyway.
Yep. Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
I have to read more. Darn.
It's so stupid. So, anyway, then Rory goes to Lane's window and they, like, talk for a little while. And she basically is like, I'm literally not allowed out of the house unless it's for school or church. So, I really don't know when this might be over. But then Lorelai goes to talk to Mrs. Kim and she's like, hey man, maybe ease up a little.
Yeah.
This is like exactly the type of stuff that like led to my whole situation.
Yeah, if you want a pregnant teenager or someone getting arrested or anything like that.
Or running, just straight up running away.
Yeah.
Like, she might just run away.
Yeah, that's how you get a kid to do that.
Although I do absolutely love the dialogue exchange and the delivery of, you can't just lock her up and throw away the key. And she says, I didn't, it's in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and Lorelai was
great.
like, oh, okay. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically after they have that little chat, Lane is allowed in the front yard. And so she and Rory shout at each other across the street.
Trust your kids. Trust your parenting so that you can trust your kids.
100%. It's also like, there's just so many things like that where I think the more rigid you are, the less likely your kids are to come talk to you.
100%.
Anyway, which
100%.
is, you know, leaving aside how unhealthy their relationship is in a different way, that's why Rory talks to Lorelai about everything. That's why they're best friends, because that's how she raised her.
Yeah.
To trust her and to, you know, tell her things and be in communication about the important things. And she almost always is.
Yep.
To a point.
Yeah, because yes, that there's a really good foundation there. It's just, I feel like it was, Lorelai made it a two-way street, so then she was also telling Rory things about her life,
Sure,
which she shouldn't have.
Sure.
Because yes, they're best friends, but there should still be the mother-daughter boundary where the mother should not be sharing
100%.
so much about her life.
Yeah.
But you should still want to have a foundation and a relationship with your child, so your child knows that they can come to you if they've made a mistake, and then they don't get punished for it.
Yeah.
That you just work through the problem. Especially,
and I think that's especially important in this instance, because Lane already knew she had made a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, not even the, like, lying, but she was like, this date with Todd was a mistake.
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't have done this. I clearly don't know who he is as a person. Like, this is so boring and horrible.
The payoff of this is terrible. It wasn't even worth the lie.
Exactly. Yep. And so then to be further punished so severely on top of that is horrible.
Yeah, because it should be like, I learned the lesson. Yeah. I shouldn't have done it. Like, it did not turn out the way that I thought it was going to.
Also, Lane knows she can't date boys unless we approve of them. Barf.
Yeah, disgusting.
I don't know the type of man that my parents would have chosen for me, but I don't think it would have been my husband.
I know that if my parents could have picked, well, my dad secretly knows, but I think his name was Jesse Hitch, and we went out on one date, and I was like, this is not. And Lisa, my stepmom, she was like, yo, you guys didn't hit it off? I'm like, Lisa, look at me. And I'm just like, what? And my dad was like, yeah, no. Like, he would love a Charles County boy for me, but he also knows. Because he also thanked Cindy for, like, getting me out of Charles County.
Oh, yeah.
Like, getting me to go back to Baltimore.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know.
I don't know. I sort of feel like my dad just would have put me with a military guy.
Probably. Because that's all he knows.
Barf.
Yeah. Well, and I think Ryan was like, yeah, no, this makes sense for her. You know, because he was, like, in sports and kind of nerdy, but there was no tattoos, and I'm sure they loved that. And then when I was like, here's all the problems, and they were like, what? And I'm like, he was one of the worst.
Oh, yeah, like the literal worst one you could have chosen.
He was the worst one.
I just also, like, my mom didn't really love tattoos, and my dad hasn't seen me since I got 3 of these. But my mother-in-law has a rose right on her tit. And I love that.
I'm really surprised that Lisa Grinder doesn't have one.
I'm a little surprised, too.
Yeah. But
something tribal in the lower back
area.
No,
no, she's a rose. Or a rose girl, for sure. If there was anything, probably a rose.
Wade has a matching one on his arm.
Or a horseshoe.
Oh.
But like an actual real, since she used to show horses.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, they are not a fan. They are not fans of tattoos.
I love tattoos.
Me too.
I think they're fun to get, and I think they're fun to have. Yeah. And I think they're fun on other people.
It's like a story picture book of like what I've done.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just look at all this space. Why would I not want to decorate it? Hello, makeup artist. I color my face for a living.
Also, you and I both waited a long time to start
Yeah.
getting tattoos.
Yeah. I was in college and I was like,
Yeah.
you people don't pay for anything for me anymore. So it's on.
I got one of my tattoos before my frontal lobe was fully developed. All the rest have been after I turned 25.
Same. Because this one, I was 25, I think. And then I got my foot done after Buzz died. So I was like 22.
Yeah, but that's also sentimental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were still mad about it. Well, mad.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Like, my favorite was, you didn't think about my reaction at all. And I was like, no, I did not.
Not even a little bit.
Didn't think about you at all.
I
was having a needle shoved into my foot.
I got my foot done when I was 29, I think.
Okay.
So the year after, I must have been almost 30 because it was the year after we got married. So, yeah. No, I had just turned 30 because I got it on like New Year's Eve or day.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever Mike had his heart attack.
Oh,
because Will got the call when I was sitting in the chair.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, super crazy.
Time is wild.
Time sucks.
Yeah, it does. Well, and then I'm getting my next one on Thursday.
Yay! And let's see, by the time this one airs, I'll almost have my next one. And it's gonna be big.
Yeah. And so by the time you guys see this, I'll have a diamond on my fingy.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
Are you doing it here or here?
Up here.
Up here? Yeah.
Because I always have a ring on this finger, so I want it up here.
I like that.
Diamond I get myself, I can never sell. Yeah.
I mean, you could sell your finger if you really wanted to.
I mean, I like it, so I probably wouldn't.
Probably won't.
Yeah.
All right. That's enough.
Yeah. I think that was everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was good.
The Jackson and Suki stuff is continuing.
Yeah.
So, all right. We will go watch the next one, and we will be back.
Bye.
Bye.